Hello, people. Yeah, I was going to find out the date. I think it's the 16th of October, and it is. Okay, this is Lou from Lou's Touch. My head scatters every which way but loose. Maybe it's loose too. um, I've been working on that ad for my house today, and so I finally came up with it. I don't know if I can find it again to read it, but I've already had a comment, so we shall see. But I think maybe I better let you guys know what's tripping. So, I've been telling you people I was going to do this and do this and do this, but anyway, I decided. I put a price of $35,000 on my little house. It is a little house, but I mean, you can't even buy a tiny house out there. Of course, it would probably be new for $80,000 on a trailer. Well, this one is a tiny house with a lot. I mean, it's probably worth even more, but it needs work. It's a DIY project. I've told you guys all about it. Anybody who's been watching my videos knows. But I just hadn't figured out some things. So I will just tell you guys it's $35,000. Okay? It will not pass an inspection. It is a DIY project. Okay? But I did get a thing back saying, that for my stats and things, they said 80,000. Okay, so maybe that's a turnkey, real nice looking little cottage. I don't know. Right now, I know that I'm willing to accept 35,000. And then I have a vacant lot on Main Street. It used to be the Yellow Rose, was a tavern or a bar or some sort. And it burnt down. That was years ago, years and years ago. So right now it's just a vacant lot. Wouldn't take that much to get your utilities there because it's on Main Street. So the utilities right there at the sidewalk as far as some of it. And then I had put up electric before. We had an electrician go put up the electric stuff. And then I found that little house and I needed electric over there. So we took the stuff from the Main Street location, which we were not using, and put it at my house, which is on 612 Ray Street in Downs, Kansas. I call it a little shack. But you know what? It could be a lovely little cottage. It could be great. And I can take these things off since I'm not reading yet. I was going to go ahead and read Ether 10, but there's just too much on my mind elsewhere. And I thought maybe I should at least let you guys know because I haven't said anything about a price. Okay. So for $40,000, you could go to the little town of Downs and have a house and a lot on Main Street. Meaning, these little towns, this town is less than 1,000 people, and it's not probably always so easy to find a job, especially real close to home. So if you planned on living in that little house, there's this little lot on Main Street, vacant, ready for you to pull a little trailer in or something. We thought about making a coffee shop there. I don't know what's going on in Downs these days. I've been gone 10 years, okay? But I was told it's still less than 1,000 people. I just don't know what all is available as far as amenities go. When I lived there, there was a library on the corner. I mean, just down the street from me and across the road, there was the library. And there's a restaurant. There's a grocery store. At the end of town, which is not very far, I don't even know if it's a mile long, there's another road. I want to say it's Highway 24. I bet it is. Excuse me. There's a couple of gas stations there, and they provide deli type stuff. One of them had the best sandwiches. Oh my. It was like going to Subway, but maybe better. All I know is I really enjoyed those sandwiches. But I have been gone just a little over 10 years probably. I'm not sure the exact time, but pretty much 10 years. And what else? So, I am the owner. I am the bank. You might could get a loan on the lot downtown. I don't know. Um, but I do know that getting a loan on a house usually requires appraisals, inspections, this and that and the other thing. Well, no. I'm the bank. I'm not requiring any of that. I'm requiring $35,000. Okay? I am maybe, possibly willing to carry a short contract. And I mean a short contract within 2 years. Whereas you pay half down or you pay 15 down and $1,000 a month for 2 years. How would that work? Would that be right? That would give me a little bit of interest for carrying the contract. Let me see. So, what did I just say? So if I put 15, we'll put down 15 down. That leaves 20. I mean, if it was a cash price, that leaves 20. So if you did, I would accept that. If you did 15,000 down and $1,000 a month for 24 months, then that would give me $4,000 interest, wouldn't it? I think that's fair. Unless you could pay it off earlier. But it is important that we get it paid off fast. So I am a creative financing person. That's how you get things sometimes, you know. My brother does something where he does cash or trade. You know, if you got something of value to trade, but he's doing vehicles and trailers and guns and this and that and the other thing. I'm not doing that. But I do think 15,000 down and 24 months of $1,000 a month, and then it's yours. Could do 36 months. Wonder what that would be. 36 months times 800. Leave the glasses back on. It's just time is of the essence, people. I don't have a lot of time to hang around and figure out stuff. And it really would be best to just get cash. That would be in my best interest to just get cash. And it'd be in your best interest because it would save interest. So let's see, 15 down. I'm just writing myself some notes. 24 months at $1,000 each. And then what you would get is a quick claim deed. Now, if you have a problem with that, then there is, I've already talked to a title company that's in Osborne. I don't know which way to look. The sun's coming out. Anyway, there's a title company in Osborne that will do a different type of deal. They'll do a title search where they'll give you I'm not coming up with my right words, but it's an insurance policy basically saying that there's no liens. There'd be no liens on the property and stuff like that. It's title insurance is what it's called. Okay, so there would be money attached if we did it that way. Otherwise, you can do some things your own self, like call the courthouse and ask who owns this property and ask them if there's any way you can find out if there are any liens on it. Sometimes they'll help you out and answer your questions. Because if there is a lien on the property, it should be attached to the deed, which is at the courthouse. Now, I am in search of money, and I want it fast. Because I have things I want to do with it, okay? So I was going to work up something here. So that would be 15 plus 24,000 because of the interest. My math skills suck, but I think that's 39,000, which makes sense because it'd be 4,000 interest I'm going to try this other thing, 36 months at 800. Let's try that. You know, I know payments are hard to come up with, but they are high out there. And just what you have to think about is it'd be paid off. It'd be paid off in a couple years and no more payments. That's what you got to think about. And then really the fact that it's a small house, it's not going to take very much. Remnants, remnants of carpet and linoleum would do it. Because, you know, they're 12 foot wide, carpet rolls, 12 foot wide, and the room is 11 foot wide. The living room is 11 foot wide by 13, so you would go 12 by 13 to take care of that room. And then the bedroom is 9 by 13. So you cut off the 3 feet on the side, and that will go into the small walk-in closet off of the bedroom. Okay, the bedroom is 9 by 13, and then there's a small walk-in closet off of it. Okay, so what I was going to find is the calculator, because my head does not, I work in round numbers these days. I just round things and guesstimate. Okay, so let's try this. 36 times 800 equals 28.8. Okay. So that works good for me too, because that gives me more interest, okay? 36 months at 800 a month equals 28.8. And then you have the 15 on top of that. So we got 800, and then 8 and 5 is 13, carry 1, so you use 43. So that would be 43,800 for the 36 month, for the 3-year contract. And then the 24 month, 24,000 plus 15 would be 39, I'm sure it is. Let me just make sure, okay. 15 plus 24 equals 39. Okay, so I think that's good. I think that's very good. Okay, guys, so I figured it out with you. Now, the best thing to do is just get me 35,000 cash. I need to look over here. So, these are my roundabout numbers, okay, guys? And I am a little bit on the flexible side, not a lot. You know, some people looking at this little house would think, oh, you're crazy in the head. But if you really think about it, no, I'm not. You can't even get a freaking new car or a couple years old car of a nicer car or whatever. You can't get the same price. You're going to sleep in your car? I mean, do you need a house? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people sleeping in their cars out there because they don't have a place to live. So here you go. Yeah, I know. If you don't have a place to live, you don't have any money stashed. And the thing is, I do not believe that you can get a loan. Unless you can get a loan for a project. And then here's another thing. This house is a 1920. So it's over 100 years old. And somebody was saying that you might could get funds for fixing it up. You know, because it's over 100 years old. And I have not checked into that. So that's something to think about. Anyway, I think that's a pretty fair deal. So, that's for the house. And then downtown, like 6 or 7 blocks away from that little house, is my vacant lot. It's on Main Street. And it's cleared. It's not vacant with stuff all over it. It's a cleared lot. So, I mean, if you had, because I've thought about doing that. In fact, when we got that, lot, we were going to put a little trailer down there and sell treats and stuff. You know, snow cones and coffee drinks and stuff like that. But I didn't want to be tied down. I didn't want to have to be somewhere all the time. I wanted to be at my own little house. So that might have worked, you know. But no. Anyway, the point is, that's the deal. $35,000 cash. Or I will do $15,000 down and 2 years worth of $1,000 a month payments, which is 15 plus 24, which makes 39. And then if you need it to be less than 1,000, you want to go to 800 a month. I could do 3 years at 800 a month, which makes 28,800 plus 15,000 equals 43,800. Still a really killer deal. Now, this house is just a little one-bedroom thing. So it'd be very easy to make it to a little cottage or a little hunting cabin. It was used as a hunting cabin before I got it. Because hunting is a really big deal there. People come from all over the place, but I'm not sure what they're hunting. If it's birds, or if it's birds and deer. I imagine it's both. So anyway, in that realm, what I've understood about some places where you can go hunting, it costs a bloody fortune. So it's kind of nice to have your own little cabin. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's a deal. It's quite the deal. And, all right, so the lot downtown, you know, that lot in Perryton, I don't even know now what it would be, but back when I lived in Perryton so many years ago, that lot would have been $25,000. And here's the deal. I mean, the utilities are right there. It wouldn't be real hard to get the utilities on. And you could have a nice little trailer that you could pull in and just sit there as your business. It would have to be a newer trailer. It couldn't be really old, dilapidated and stuff like that. You know, they do. Downs tends to think they're the city. I mean, some of the things about them seems like they think they're the big time, and they're not. They're so little. But that's a big thing too, to be able to be in a small town instead of in the city. How neat. I mean, you know, to get away from all those people. Yes, I like people, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's all the rules and regulations and stuff, you know. They didn't want us to have dogs. They didn't want us to have a cow. Yes, I understand. We were in town. We were on the very freaking edge of town. And then out there were all this land and trees and grass and all kinds of stuff. You know, but anyway, they wouldn't let us have a cow. So then we got dogs. And then we got in big trouble because they didn't want dogs either. So you don't want to be, if you're going to raise dogs, you don't want to go live there, okay? And we didn't know what we were doing at the time. We started raising German Shepherds. And German Shepherds can be intimidating. They do have a big old mouth full of teeth, you know, but they're just lovers unless you give them a reason to be mean. I got in trouble because we were over building a fence around this little house so we could take the dogs over there. We already had a fence where we were. Well, we had a mother dog, and she wanted her puppies, and we had left her in the living room. Now, how did that work? I don't know, but she got around to her puppies, and they all got out. And these puppies were around 6 months old, so they're looking like full-grown German Shepherds. And they got up the street to these people that were influential in town, bigwig type things, you know. In fact, they had their own dogs too. I went there to apologize to him, and Dobermans, that's what he had. Okay, so I'm there in his office, and there's this Doberman checking me out. I did not move one iota because I didn't know that dog, and I didn't know if I was going to tear my leg off or something. I just let him sniff me and tried not to show fear. And anyway, but what I found out was that my puppies had gotten loose and gotten over there, and they were jumping up on them to lick them in the face. Okay, they just wanted to lick them. They didn't hurt nothing. But anyway, the city of Perryton got upset because they thought that guy was going to get upset. And I told him at the meeting, it's a town meeting, I told him, I says, I don't know what you're having a problem with because I've already been with him, talked to him. He said everything's cool. So why are you guys freaking out? Anyway, they didn't know that part, I guess. They were all, I don't know. People are crazy in the head sometimes. But it is a nice little town. I mean, it's got a school right there. They've got all their schools right in the same town. And my little house was 1920, so I don't know when all those other houses were built, but there's some nice places there. Anyway, the thing about living in a small town is you have to have an income, okay? So, unless you can go to work or you don't mind driving to go to work somewhere, then there you are. You've got that lot downtown. You could make it a business. Let's just say you have services that you could offer the town. All you got to do is move in and advertise. Let people know you're there, because there's not that many there, I would think. So anyway, I think I decided that I just let that lot go for $5,000. Okay? So, if you have cash, $35,000 and then $5,000, there you go, $40,000, and you've got a vacant lot on Main Street and within walking distance of the house. Even in the winter, within walking distance, you would not have to drive. But there are places. Beloit, B-E-L-O-I-T, is a town that's 24 miles away. On that Highway 24, you go to the end of town, turn right on 24, and head on down the road 24 miles, and you're in Beloit, okay? And they got a big grocery store, and they got a lumber yard, and they got all kinds of different things there. And it's not a huge town, but it's a lot bigger than Downs. And then in a different direction is Osborne. Osborne is 12 miles away. And they've got a bigger grocery store. The reason I say that is because smaller towns, smaller grocery store, expensive prices. Okay? Not as bad as a Minute Mart, but still more than you'd want to pay. So 12 miles down the road is Osborne, and there's a courthouse there. So I don't know what that means. If every community has their own courthouse, or if it must be, because there's a courthouse in Sterling. So they must just have them every so often. Because the whole state wouldn't be coming to Osborne to take care of business. There's a big town called Hayes, about an hour and 20 minutes south of the house. There's a Walmart within 47 miles, unless they built new ones since then, because I haven't been there in 10 years. And things do change. So, the little house needs help, but it's doable. And if you want to live in it, you can do things while you do, but it's always best to do it before, because it's hard to work around yourself when you're in a house. So, I've said it all before, I'll say it again. If it was me, if I was able and had my fella to help me and didn't have bigger fish to fry, then I would go there and set up that little house. It wouldn't take that much. And then if you have money, you could actually just destroy that house, take it down and put up a really nice modular or something. And then it's a nice sized lot, The lot is 50 feet by 142 and a half feet. That's not bad. 142 and a half, long, deep. That's not bad at all. And like I mentioned, it was fenced. I think the materials are still there, but the wind blew the metal off of the post. And I haven't been back to fix it. So there I am thinking I really should go back and take care of it. And if I did, then the price is going way up. But the way it is, just come up with the cash. And I'm a little bit flexible, okay? So, maybe I'll give you guys the same. I mean, I put it on Craigslist, okay? So, on Craigslist, I gave them my phone number. But I really just want text because, you know, text me, leave a message, I'll call you back. I don't want to answer the phone with strange people on the other end. And now I've got people calling me about insurance quotes because I was putting my stats in over and over and over again. I need to get insurance so I can drive my car. But at least I didn't have to have insurance to get it licensed and registered. So I got that taken care of. That was $200. I think they only charged me, they either charged me $10 or 10 cents. Because it's like 10% sales tax. And that Philip put down that I paid $1. He was giving it to me basically on, you know what I'm saying. Nevertheless, so I've done that. I'm good until next year, October of 25. So I just need to find, it's maddening because I had really good insurance and I let it go because I didn't need it. Well, I do need it in order to get a decent price. I'm going to pull you over here and see if the sun will get out of it. It doesn't look like it. I see my shadow. Okay, so it's been almost 30 minutes. And I spent quite a while on that ad. I put it on Craigslist. And I used Downs. So if you were to go trying to look for it, Downs, Kansas. Craigslist. I don't know if there's an actual spot that you would look for Downs, but it is in, it's in the middle of the United States. And I don't know what the area would be, because there's Salina, it's about an hour and a half away. Hayes is about an hour, I'll say about an hour and a half away, different directions. Anyway, so I guess that's enough. I'm not sure of the dimensions of my lot downtown. I have it written somewhere. But I've done a lot of things since then, so I'm not sure. But it's a vacant lot. It is not 142 and a half feet long like my house. I think it might be like 120, but I'm not sure. So anyway, oh man. If I'd have shut up, it would have been 3-3, but 3-3. So I'll wait until the next one. You guys think about it. If you're wanting to move out of the city, I mean, this is a deal. And I am open to offers, but I am looking for cash. And I will, you guys already heard that part. I mean, I'm willing to carry the contract, but I really want cash. So maybe you guys can get a hold of me. And what I will say is text, okay? I shouldn't do it. Okay, here's what I'll do. If you go and find that ad, well, you'll find my phone number. But otherwise, I'm just going to put my email address, okay? So that's small letters, M as in Mary, L as in Lou, P as in Perry, MLP 54 at iCloud.com. That is my email. So So if you find yourself interested, send me an email. And I have had one contact already. It wasn't very long after I posted it. And I know there are people out there. There are people out there trying to buy up property. So I don't know. So there are people that would love to live in a small town and get out of the city. You know, those that live in a small town wants to go to the city. So it's just a matter of what you want. But in the meantime, I just passed it up again. Quit pulling faces, I'm sorry. So I'll have to write my notes down. Creative financing, that is the deal, okay? Like I said, I have a quick claim deed that I would do. That doesn't cost anything. I can type it up and I can file it. It costs a little bit to file, but not much. Or we can go through the title company and then that will cost a few things. I can't remember all of it. I have it written down somewhere. But I mean, that would make you sure that you would have your title insurance and you would have a different type of deed. You wouldn't have a quit claim deed, which is what I'm offering, okay? But as long as you're not willing, as long as you are willing to pay the cost, and really it's not that bad of a cost compared to the city. So that's another thought. I believe it's less than $1,000. Might even be less than $600. I'm not sure to get that done. But what that would be is if we do a contract, he would draw up the contract. Or I can do it. I've done it before. However, I might let him do that. And I also might I don't know if they do property management or not. But that might be a consideration because I don't want to be fighting for any money. And I want someone to be able to come and repossess that house if you don't do what you're supposed to do. Understand? Some people might think, oh, I can get in for the down payment and then not make any payments. I want cash. But like I said, depending on the situation, the circumstances, because I want to go for cash first. So what I would do is I've got these two offers that I propose that are not cash, and we can just, what's the word I was looking for? Anyway, we will consider offers. And it's me. There's not a we, okay? But still, I think that's pretty good. And I think that's pretty good as far as if you were to get it for 5% interest through the bank, and that interest is, I think it's compounded monthly. I'm not sure what that interest would end up being. So, put it in your head. Maybe you might know somebody that needs a place to live instead of the street. And maybe you might be able to figure out a way to give them some money, or that they could earn some money. But no, that's not my deal. Money. I need money and I need it now. Okay? So you guys take care. I'm going to shut this thing off when it hits 33, or try. And then I'll do Ether. I'm going to read Ether 10. And then I'm going to go drive my car. But I don't think I can be taking movies while I'm driving.